Well, yeah. That's a good idea, though.
Yeah, I can't. We have to get our own action figures made. That's hysterical. Like wrestling guys. Is that what you? When I was a kid, me and my brother had 1,000, and our stepdad built us like a little ring that because they sold rings, but they were cheap plastic. They sucked, right?
Rings.
So our stepdad built us a ring with actual like pieces of like crafting wood and a sheet of canvas you'd use to like paint on that he took and painted like it was a WWF ring from back in the day with the gold logo in the middle.
Oh yeah.
And then stretched it over it and like stapled it and shit. So it looked like a legit ring, and it was awesome. And also like the way the figures were this size, the toy ring would be this big. And you'd be like, why? It's so small for the guys. The one he built was like this. It was like proper proportions.
I feel like that was always an issue. We always had like guys who weren't the right size.
We had that ring for years, and we had 1,000, what we called as kids, wrestling guys. That's all they were, was let's play with wrestling guys.
Yeah, I think I had the like wrestle buddies and shit.
Oh, the stuffed animal ones? Yeah. We had those too.
I didn't use those. I always fought the bears, the big teddy bears that I had.
Oh, we had like Sting and Hogan and shit, and we'd kick the shit out of them and do DDTs to them and shit. Yeah, and we would just kick the shit out of each other.
There was a DDP one.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. Oh yeah, that's old school.
The two we had were Sting and Hollywood Hogan. And they said shit when you hit them.
I remember that one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We had a couple Ninja Turtles too that they had the same design, like they just looked like this.
The turtle buddies. Things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're always doing that. Yeah, they do always do that. That's weird.
As soon as we got N64 though, in the mid '90s, when that came out, and we got Revenge, that was kind of over.
Yeah,
because it was so perfect.
Just do that.
We were like, we're just gonna play Revenge.
Suplex the bears or whatever
anymore. Or play with action figures. Not that we didn't. I still thought they were cool. We would still get them from time to time, but no, you know what I mean.
I mean, shit, I still get them.
Yeah. Well, dude, this is amazing.
All right, welcome to Burning Hammer Wrestling. This is we're gonna play the intro now.
Yeah, go for it. Yep.
My name is Seth Skinner. This is my buddy Dave.
Howdy.
And we're back. What is this? 12 episodes? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to talk about the matches first?
Yeah, and we can make it quick this time.
Yeah.
Last time we spent the whole episode talking about them.
Yeah. We even titled the episode.
We're dialing it in though, you know.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So yeah, now we're doing this thing called Showdown Swap. Is that what we called it?
I think so.
Something like that. Whatever the last episode was titled.
Yeah.
And so we give each other matches.
Mm-hmm.
We watch each other's matches. Usually we watch our own as well. But
usually it's a match I know of that I'm asking you to watch, or vice versa. But I also just haven't seen it in forever, so I go back and watch it just to be sure.
So I guess what we'll do, go through that first, and we'll get it out of the way, and we'll try not to be too long with it. That's gonna be the hard part, though. So let's see. So yours, the one you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Was Ric Flair and Sting
at Clash of Champions 1.
The first Clash of Champions.
Yep, the main event.
Okay, so for some reason, J.J. Dillon's in a cage above the ring, just for no reason. Which is funny because of current events. Yeah, with Rhea and Liv, which we'll talk about. But so they got celebrity judges for no reason.
No good reason. Yeah.
Which
what is that? They had a ref.
I don't know what this. Sometimes I think it's just for eyeballs. It's kind of the same thing. Like I don't know. Like Vince used to do the same. Like he'd just bring Mike Tyson
in celebrities and try. Yeah. Like that Jason Hervey.
Yeah.
Which is weird because Bischoff talks a lot about how him and I believe that Jason Hervey started a production company after he left wrestling, and they were friends and stuff. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really weird to see that, like when I saw him, I never connected to me that Jason Hervey was the guy from Wonder Years.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what is going on? Why do they have all these? Why do you need like 5 judges or whatever?
Yeah, I didn't recognize anybody else with the Wonder Years good.
And then, so I guess, I also read a little bit about this. I was like,
sure,
looking it up on Wikipedia about the event. And I guess there was like a scheduling conflict between the two for this, or like with McMahon and Crockett.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what went down there, but there was really, so right off the bat, I was like, this is like, it was kind of fast, like right off the bat. There was good chain wrestling and things like that.
Yep.
But it felt like, so Sting sort of takes control early.
Yep.
And they kind of traded off like who's in control for a while.
For a long time,
like, it was a lengthy match. I mean, I don't know.
Longer than I remembered it being.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rest holds.
Obviously,
and things like
I don't even know. I can't even remember when it was. I think it was mid 80s, right? Or late 80s?
Yeah.
Like
it would be late
87 or something, 88. So I may have not even been born yet, but I had watched the match years and years ago.
Yeah.
When I heard that was like the match that made Sting as a main eventer, like top guy in WCW, you know?
It was, so like, there's a lot of rest holds. And like one thing I took notes of was like, the thing about that was the commentary has to step in and make, like, be a bigger part of the match, which is like, doesn't really happen that much because matches aren't as long, I feel like. And if they are, it's like an Iron Man match or something.
The rest hold stuff gives a break in the action for the commentary to step in and build suspense and build tension and give more info.
That's exactly what
commentary duo, Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, that was wild.
Incredible. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, when they get into when they're putting J.J. Dillon in the cage, he's being pissed off and shit. I think the ref that's on the left is Nick Patrick, the guy who screwed over Sting and with Hogan or whatever. He was like the NWO ref with the mullet. But the guy on the right, I'm pretty sure, is a young and still balding Teddy Long.
Oh,
pretty sure it was.
No shit.
Yeah, and I was like, I wonder if he noticed that. I saw it. Was like, wait, what?
Look at that again.
Either way, really cool seeing WCW in an era that we hear about.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. That wasn't the WCW of our childhood.
I think like it really. So like the last 10 minutes of it, it really comes together. Like,
the whole match comes together. Yeah,
and. There's like, so Sting like tries to splash him and fucking goes over the top rope.
Yep.
And then there's like, basically it's a decent match until, so like, it's like a bunch of near falls is how the finish is. Like multiple near falls. And then the timer expires.
While Sting has Flair in the Scorpion Deathlock.
And they're going, okay, well, I guess we're going to the judges, which is so weird.
So random, dude.
It just felt so unnecessary, but it was very weird. And then
it gave away that the only reason they brought in the judges is to have a way. Yeah, it was pageantry. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. Yep.
That was the only thing I could think was
just to have a way
to be able to say that this guy was there or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I mean, it is a good match. It's a different style
of it, for sure.
For how long it is, I thought that it was good.
They paced it as well as they could for how long it is.
And for the era, it was faster paced than I remembered. I remember very specifically that Sting looked, and this is my memory before watching it again, was that Sting looked like a gigantic superhuman, like superhero in that match. That era of Sting, he's so jacked and in such crazy shape, and he's so athletic.
And he's still a kid, too.
Yeah, he's so young, too. He's so young. But at one point, there is over 2 straight minutes of just a bear hug spot. With almost a minute of it is them on the ground, still trying to sell a bear hug. And so, like, watching that back now, I was like, the commentary definitely helps.
I think that's what puts it over, yeah.
The commentary definitely helps. But even still, I look at that and I'm like, man, you will absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, never see that again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. For a number of reasons.
For a number of reasons. You will, the pace is so different now that if people try to do a rest hold for like 10 seconds, the crowd starts to turn on them.
Also, if they're going to have judges, they're not going to also put somebody in a cage. Like, there's going to be one or the other.
Yeah. There was a lot of booking going on there.
Like, we'll put a bird cage above the ring. We'll have 5 judges. It's like, okay, dude. Like, relax with the...
It was pageantry, though, like you said. They were trying to make it a big spectacle. And I'm pretty sure it was on cable. I'm pretty sure it was on TBS.
Clash of the
when
Champions.
It happened.
Yeah,
because it wasn't like a pay-per-view. It was like a straight-up televised thing, and that's why they said beforehand, this match will be a special one-draw world championship match with a 45-minute time limit due to television.
Yeah, that it was. Like I said, it was long, but like luckily I worked 12-hour shifts. So
yeah.
But I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I've been setting up
for what it is.
I've been setting you up for extremes. So like that's the last match I gave you. The next one is for sure not gonna be like that. Just so you know.
So then I gave you Kurt Angle, Shane McMahon.
Oh, dude. And I barely even had to watch it. King of the Ring 2001.
2001.
Yeah. I watched the shit out of that match. I love that match.
It's so
Might be
crazy.
the best street fight match I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's that
up there,
good.
Dude. Yeah.
My big takeaways for this match is that every single thing they do to each other looks like it hurts so bad. Like it looks like early in, like it starts wicked fast paced. Kurt gets in the ring, he immediately charges, starts doing stuff like wrestling, slams and stuff to him. He's like picking him up and slamming him on the ground and stuff. When Shane gets up and hits him with a few punches, Kurt's instantly bleeding. And you can tell Kurt's instantly pissed. And it's like, this dude's potatoing me, what the fuck? And from then on, every single thing they both do to each other is so brutal and looks like it hurts so bad. Everything.
It gets
like
bad.
Shane hits Kurt with a few clotheslines at one point, and every one of them looks so brutal. And I'm like, what the fuck? At one point, they go out to table side, like by the commentary tables outside, and Shane does a dive off the table at Kurt, right, and jumps over them to do it. But I can't remember if it was right before that or right after it. When they're in the ring, they had Kurt was chasing Shane around the outside, and Shane has a lead on him, and he jumps up on the barrier, turns around to see where Kurt is, jumps off at him, and they face to face, no arms up, just go face. So bad. And I was like, what was that? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
That match is wild.
So then at one point, Kurt, he throws Shane into the post on the outside, like the outer corner this way. And it looks so brutal. And then he goes to do a clothesline to Shane, and Shane ducks out of the way, and Kurt throws the stiffest, as hard as he possibly can, extreme power clothesline at just my shoulder the metal post.
Yeah.
And it is so loud, and it looks like it hurt him so bad.
Yeah, they were banged up after this. Especially when he tries to belly him through the glass.
So I'll get there. So then after that, they do some more stuff in the ring. And Shane does he puts a trash can on Kurt and does a shooting star press, and Kurt moves and he does it to the trash can.
Corner of the trash can.
And that looks like it had to have cut him in his arm or some shit, because he just hits the sharp edge. But then they go up the ramp, and that's where Kurt goes to do a suplex onto the ramp to Shane, and Shane reverses it and breaks Kurt's tailbone. And when Kurt lands, he instantly rolls to his side and has a different look on his face of like, oh my God, what just happened.
Yeah.
And then he gets up and wrestles the rest of the match with a broken tailbone. What the fuck? He can. There's points in that where he looks like he can barely walk. He's like so bad.
And he knows what some of these spots are going to be too.
Oh yeah, that he has to do. He's moving forward. He's walking forward through it, taking Shane up to that glass pane, knowing I'm about to take flat back bumps a bunch of times with a tailbone broken. And so then he does the belly to belly. He sets him out, yanks him in, throws him. He doesn't go through it.
No, and lands on his head.
Lands on his neck and shoulders on the concrete.
Yep.
That's so brutal, dude.
It was so bad.
Then he does the next one. He goes through
I'll just do it
and
again.
that, whatever it is, like glass or sugar glass or whatever it is, cut the shit out of both of them everywhere. They have just like tree roots of blood all over their bodies after that.
Good. Yeah, it was brutal.
So then he picks him up on the other side,
goes through
the other way, and doesn't twice. Two of them. And the first one, Shane lands like he suplexes him, and Shane comes down like this, head to head. Full gravity after it.
You can see
it's so
they're
brutal,
like laying
dude.
right next to each other after that. And you can see Kurt like kind of turn
being
towards him.
He's
probably
okay,
like,
bro?
Are you sure you want to do that again?
And Shane was out on his feet apparently after the first one when he gets power bombed on his neck and shoulders on concrete. So then after the second time it fails, Kurt says, fuck it, grabs him and just Irish whips him through it. And that looks even cooler.
Yeah.
And Shane just smears, dude. He's gone.
Because then they have the camera on the other
angle. They showed the replay.
Of him basically diving.
Dude, that is the coolest spot of the entire thing. Actually, it's the second coolest, in my opinion. That's crazy. But then after all that, Kurt goes to drag Shane. He goes to pin him, and the ref's like, you got to pin him in the ring, which I thought was weird because it's a street fight. But that was the rule of the match. So he's like, you got to be kidding me. So he goes to drag Shane, and he can't because he's so beat up. Like legitimately. And so he goes and grabs that cart,
lays him over
it, rolls him down, puts him in the ring, pins him, he kicks out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So then eventually he ends up in the corner with Shane or whatever, and Shane goes to do like a splash or something on him, and he moves, and Shane lands on it, and that's when he pulls out that.
He somehow has a piece of plywood.
Shane pulled it out from underneath, like 2 minutes into the match.
I didn't remember that,
and it's been sitting there the whole time. Is genius setup for that, because then Kurt organically rolls away down the rope. Shane is hanging on his stomach over the turnbuckle, and Kurt sees the board and goes, "Yup," sets that up and does a fucking like springboard off the top rope angle slam. Like when he does it, they're on that board.
Yeah.
And the ref is standing there, but he's not touching it. But you can tell the ref is like, this is so sketchy, dude. And when they jump for it, the board perfectly pushes down and springboard launches them.
It worked so well.
It's even worse. Like, it's even more ridiculous, dude. They launched like it was a fucking diving board and hit the craziest angle slam I've ever seen. I was
surprised that worked in the first
That was
place.
the biggest angle slam I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because they legit don't just go off the top rope. They get height and get launched like a diving board.
The angle slam is sweet because you can like do it from a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Like they did it even to the lead up to this. They had like Shane on the podium there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think or was it the other way around? I don't remember. But there was an angle slam off the podium, and you're just
which I'm glad you said that because I watched the lead up to it too, and that was cool. It was cool seeing like scumbag Angle doing his like gold. He was like, "I'm gonna reenact my gold medal ceremony." There's sparklers and shit and like confetti, and he's crying. He's like crying, and then Shane comes out and pisses him off or whatever. But
Angle is so good. Like he's one of the best. He was like one of the better comedy wrestlers too.
He's one of the rare guys who can do the best comedy stuff ever and on a dime be the most believable, vicious, pissed off badass that you don't want to be in front of.
Yeah.
He's one of the only guys that could flip that switch and the crowd knew it and went, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Super believable on both sides. He's watching that match. he looks like impossible too. Like he's so good in the ring while his tailbone's broken.
Yeah.
He's so beat up and he just still does everything perfect. His body, like he's in insane shape. It's before all the like he started to have the atrophy in his arms and started to walk weird and shit.
Yeah.
Which he worked great even in that era.
He was in good shape for a long time.
This was like peak Kurt Angle for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I never saw the TNA run, man. I regret that.
A lot of people say that was his best run.
He says it's his best run.
Yeah.
He says it's the best work of his career, but it's so hard to imagine because he was so unbelievable. He's one of the greatest ever, in my opinion. Like, legit one of the greatest of all time. And that's kind of my biggest takeaway from the match. It was just such a delight to see Angle in his prime.
Yeah.
Because I just haven't seen an Angle match in a long time.
Yeah, and then with Shane, like, he can just do whatever he wants.
Yep.
Like Angle, they're just going to do whatever spot, whatever.
Yeah. It was just so crazy, dude. Yeah. Such a crazy match. Unreal.
Yeah. I watched him fucking hit the glass panel like multiple times. I was like, that is bad.
That's so bad. It's so bad, dude.
So yeah, that's that.
So
those are the ones.
Do you want to give me my next match first, or you want me to go first?
Okay. I'm gonna give you Cena versus Styles. This is only a couple of years ago, 2017.
Where was
Royal
this?
Rumble, I think. Yeah, Royal Rumble.
Dude, was this part of Cena's U.S. title run?
I think so. Yeah, that would be around that time, wouldn't it?
Dude, that's some of the best stuff Cena ever did.
Royal Rumble,
the U.S. Open Challenge, Cena's U.S. title Open Challenge is some of the best stuff Cena ever did.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of when that was. It had to have been around then. Sounds right.
Had to be. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. That's gonna be so awesome, dude.
Let's see, match.
I love both of those guys. And Cena's he's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
John Cena.
Obviously, AJ Styles is fucking unbelievable, too. One of the best ever.
Oh, no, this is WWE title. This is for the WWE Championship.
Okay. Was this when AJ was champ?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. Okay. Ready for mine?
Yeah, let me write it down. Well,
I sent it to you. You're gonna geek. Terry Funk versus Sabu barbed wire match.
Oh,
at I think it was called Born to Be Wired, ECW pay-per-view.
Yeah,
it's
this one's
bad.
Fucked up,
hyper fucked up.
Yeah, I think I've watched this within the past 2 years, probably.
Okay. Cool.
I'll watch that again.
Good. Oh yeah.
It's fucking.
I'm gonna watch it again too, and it's gonna turn my gut because it's that fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even. I remember everything that matters. I haven't watched it probably 12 years. That is I was like, I'm gonna give him a slow burn, old school style wrestling match, and then I'm gonna give him a borderline death match.
Yeah.
yeah.
That is what it is too.
It is. Oh my god, yeah.
All right, so SmackDown a couple weeks ago was Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa in a steel cage
to open. Yeah, well, the first one on USA, right?
Yeah, I
that
think
was
so.
Such an awesome fucking match.
It was a really good match. Yeah,
yeah.
People don't. I don't think people respect Solo yet.
Oh,
which is
I
very
do.
weird.
Like we do.
Yeah,
but I think the average viewer is on the fence still. How can you be? I don't know. I don't know. He's proving himself every week with this run he's on right now.
Yeah. I mean, every time he shows up, it's pretty fucking good. So
he's good. He's damn good. Tama Tonga is very good. Tonga Loa is a fucking meme.
Yeah,
he's a straight up meme.
Yeah.
Every time he talks, I geek.
I don't know why
every time he does something in the ring, it makes me geek also. Yeah. Every time. I've seen him do nothing that didn't make me geek.
I don't know why they let him talk anyway. It seems unnecessary.
He talks all the time. and he's bad at it.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious.
Yeah, I just don't get the point of
maybe he's not bad at it, and I just don't get it.
No, he's not.
Because it does make me completely geek out though. Every time I see him,
it's hard to watch.
Yeah, Tama Tonga's sick.
God. This is the best shit that. Okay, this is the best shit that I've seen in probably, I would say, the last 5 years in wrestling. Kevin Owens comes out, right? They have he's got a tag team match.
Yes.
And he's got a mystery partner. And so, or like his partner's not there, or however they set it up. And so this guy comes out, right? This like bald dude in like just regular
his partner shows him, and a generic creator wrestler guy comes out.
Super hairy, like torso and shit. And like Kevin Owens is like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Ricky." And now
he's like, "Ricky, that's my partner. We got this."
Yeah, immediately.
Let's go, Ricky.
And then it gets a huge pop because
huge pop. People start going hard for Ricky.
Yeah. Now there's like a whole like subreddit and shit trying to get fucking Ricky to come back.
It's just like the dude with no jaw.
Yeah.
That got reversed the most brutal squash match I've ever seen happen.
This is like, it's so easy. Like you can get somebody over by doing this if you really want to. But what I want anyway, what happens is he doesn't end up in the match because Orton shows up.
Yeah, which is cool. I thought that was cool.
Everybody's like, he got snubbed. Like fucking, we want Ricky.
And then Kevin. Doesn't Kevin stunner Ricky for no good reason, or he does something to him? He dumps him out of the ring or some shit, and just is like, like, what?
Yeah.
What? This poor fucking guy.
I think what needs to happen is, dude, if they brought him back at the Rumble or some shit,
dude, he would get a huge pop.
Yeah,
guaranteed. Yes, if Ricky comes back at the Rumble, he's gonna get a huge pop. That is actually real.
Yeah, they did like interviews with him too, and he like kept it kayfabe too about it. Like he was talking about how he was backstage and like everybody was like, Kevin was looking for a partner and couldn't find one. And he was like, well, I'll do it or whatever. It's like, this is awesome that he's like keeping this all in character. Like I have a feeling it's not the last we're going to see of Ricky.
Of Ricky?
I'm trying to say.
I hope so. I hope that I hope it's not the last season just because he's got momentum because that was so funny.
Yeah.
You know? And if we see him wrestling, he's actually good. He's made.
I don't know what his wrestling history is.
We didn't see anything.
Right.
I've never even heard of the guy.
No.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows who the fuck he is, but
Ricky something. He is like he's wrestled somewhere, so
he had to have. Yeah, he took a bump. That's for sure.
That was
Kevin
so
for no reason.
That was the best thing I've seen in so long.
What else happened on that SmackDown that's notable?
On that one,
the setup for the tag match of the ages.
Well, that would have been
later on in the night.
Yeah.
Roman came out and was gonna sign. He was like saying he doesn't. Or sorry, I think it was Cody was saying I'm not gonna tag with him. Like there's no reason. I'm done with the bloodline or whatever. And then the stuff happened with Roman and Cody and Solo and the like new bloodline or whatever.
So you saw the newest Raw.
I've seen it all. Yeah. Dude,
we'll get there. The newest SmackDown, that promo that they did was absolutely nasty.
That is one of the best promos I've ever seen.
That reminded me of Lucha Underground, where they're like shooting it like
cinematic movie style. They've got to do that every single week. There better be a segment on both shows that's shot like that.
That was so good.
That is industry changing.
Yeah.
It was too good.
Yeah, because I've seen it twice because they showed it again on Raw.
Yep, they showed a shortened version of it, and it was, absolutely jaw on the floor incredible.
I was watching SmackDown like here, and I'm playing college football here. And I like when it started, I was like, and then I had to I was locked in on that fucking promo.
We were like legit watching it going.
The
whole time.
It was ridiculous.
And here's the thing. It's not like it's the first time in Triple H's era they've done a really cinematic thing. All of the Wyatt 6 stuff has been pretty cinematic.
Yeah.
Like the backstage promos with freaking Bo and everybody, right?
Yeah.
This was just it was a whole different thing.
Yeah, it was pulling. It brought everything
like
together.
A scene from an action movie or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it did.
Or a sports-based movie, like a football movie or something, where the coach has a private meeting with the quarterback on the field. Like, not necessarily that exact thing, but you know what I mean. It felt like this really intense, serious, cinematic, like movie scene dialogue between
which is a
two
great
of the
way to
main
do this
stars.
Like, I felt like it was the perfect way to do that. Like, you have so like you already have adversaries that like are basically everything says that they're supposed to be enemies.
And it was so cool the way
they know they have to team up too.
And it's logical that they'd say, fuck doing this at the arena, fuck doing this in front of the crowd, fuck doing this in front of everybody. It's just you and me alone in private in the middle of a fucking stadium because they both have access to a stadium when they want it.
Yeah.
Which
Roman
do.
Played football there.
Yep. And it's Cody's home.
Yep.
So for both of them, they're like, that's a safe spot. We can go there. There's zero chance we're going to get ambushed by scum bloodline.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be interjection from anybody. And we can just talk and do whatever has to happen for us to figure out what we're doing.
Right. Yeah. In kayfabe, though.
That's what I mean. In kayfabe, that's what they're doing. Obviously,
they also
in real life,
it's great for these kind of things because they can just shoot it as many times as they need to.
They can just get it perfect with no crowd going what over half the shit they say. It's genius because it takes crowd, it lets the crowd watch it, right? But they can't interfere and go, it's about us. No, it's never fucking about you. I'm a fan. It's never about us. Sit and watch the fucking show.
Yeah,
like it's the most annoying thing in the world when people are trying to do, because how do you get away ever again with doing quiet, intense dialogue?
You don't.
You can't do it if there's a crowd
because they're going, what?
This solves it. They just cheer and not that you want the crowd to cheer and boo and stuff when you want them to. But how else do you get them to just shut the fuck up? You have to do intense packages like that.
It makes you wonder too, like what other feuds could have been better with
if they
more
did this
intense
stuff.
Type of
Well, look at the Bo Dallas sit down things. The footage in the arena, it is you could hear a pin drop. Complete control, palm of their hand.
That's true.
But you want to know why? Because he's not there live.
Yeah.
So the crowd just innately knows we're not going to be able to fucking hijack this.
Yeah.
I know that comes off shitty, but dude, if you've been watching wrestling forever, like we have, it gets old as a fan who's actually just trying to get sucked into the moment. When the crowd hijacks the fucking segment and now none of the
it does
whatever
hurt,
they said didn't matter.
Storytelling for sure in ways. That's why some things are vignettes for a reason.
Yeah, but this
was another level.
This another level, and I think we're going to see a lot more of it.
I think so.
Which is
like I said, this reminds me of Lucha Underground.
I was just about to say
that is like the way they told all their stories,
and that's what made it so nasty.
Like oh yeah, that was why it was awesome. You never saw promos.
There was never like going back and watching all of it straight.
They never had interviewer one fucking going, here you talk now.
Never.
It's like it was all fucking cinema.
I've seen some of it. Like I've seen where it's like they have that guy who's like the president and he's in his office.
Dario Cueto.
And then somebody walks in and starts talking to him. And it's shot like it's a movie scene. And I was like, dude, what? Mm-hmm. Why isn't this used?
It's shot like a fucking action movie that was on El Rey Network or something.
Exactly. Dude, over the moon. Unbelievable. We need so much more like that.
I really hope they do more. And I can't see them not because that was successful, I think.
Anybody said online was that was one of the best segments they've ever seen.
Yep. So you have Bronson Reid and Braun Strowman. That's a fucking cool feud.
Yeah.
It's really fucking cool so far. That's like a good time. It's very rare that you see like two big guys getting paired against each other like that. It's pretty sweet. There's been other big shit too. There's actually been pretty good fucking week of wrestling.
It's been crazy.
Then you have Xavier Woods, who's basically starting to turn heel.
Getting ready to turn heel.
which is awesome.
And they're doing it in such a believable way.
Yeah.
Because there's a communication breakdown between the two of them now that Big E's gone.
Yep. And he looks good doing it. Like, he's so comfortable being a heel.
Yep. And he doesn't come off like he's necessarily the heel. He just is frustrated and pissed off with Kofi for not communicating with him and just trying to make stuff happen. It's like, brother,
it's like they don't have Big E. Like, you don't. The New Day's been around since like 2016 or 17.
A long time now,
at least. So I think it's time, and I would like to see Xavier.
I think it's time. You break them up. You have them feud.
Yeah,
and then if you get them back together ever, it's because Big E gets cleared ever.
Yeah.
And is the piece that gets them to reconcile.
Right.
And it may happen because news broke. There's reports going around right now that Big E's saying that he has a new checkup happening within the next couple months.
Yeah.
To get his neck reevaluated to see if he's finally cleared to come back.
Good. Yeah, that could be good or bad, I guess. But
yeah,
that would be a good way to go with it for sure.
Yep. Either way, what they're doing with Kofi and
heel. Kofi's not a heel.
Kofi and Xavier is awesome. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Kind of reminds me of the way JBL split from Farouk, and makes me wonder if maybe Kofi's getting ready to chill. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
He's been going for a long time.
He is a veteran. He's been around for
a long time. And he's done it all now. He's a former world champion and shit. Yeah. And a well-deserved one.
Yeah, very short-lived, but...
but still. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Off him? Was it Lesnar?
Yeah. It was lame.
Yeah. They go, we know you won it Sunday or whatever.
But I'm pretty sure he had a couple defenses, though, before Lesnar took it.
Did he?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Pretty sure.
It was short.
But it was still a short run, but it was like he defended it like twice on weekly shows or something, and then he lost it to Lesnar.
All I remember is Lesnar just being like, I'm in the ring now.
Five, done. Yep. Yeah.
Spamming left bumper.
Yeah, exactly. But
I had 5 finishers stored.
Yeah, so people seem to be upset with the Cody and Roman teaming against Solo and
they wanted
Jacob. But
Jey
they're getting
Uso,
there. They're getting there. It's okay. We don't even have Paul Heyman back yet. It's okay.
Well, and
let them cook.
And they also have Jey Uso now, which he can't be a part of that. He's fucking just won a singles title.
He's on his own run right now.
Yeah,
he will be eventually.
Yeah,
we all know what's going there.
That was awesome too.
Jey winning the IC title.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
have you seen that? You haven't seen it,
of course.
Okay, did you?
I'm fully up to date.
Okay, so yeah, it was. I was literally out loud. I was like, "What? There's no way this is happening right now." The second he put him through the barricade, I was like, "All of the momentum's his. He's winning this title right now."
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Wicked good. Yeah,
because that totally was the moment. I was like, because Braun had kicked out of the splash before, I think.
I think so.
He rolled out of the ring. There was some shit that went on outside the ring.
The spear through the barricade was the
turning
point.
I was like, I think. Well, Braun runs him down and he gets super kicked in the face.
Yeah.
And then it's the momentum still Jay's, and you're like, whoa, I think he actually is gonna fucking win this. Puts him through the barricade, rolls him back into the ring fast, he's trying to capitalize, and hits a spear, hits another splash, and it's 1, 2, 3. I'm like, what is happening?
And here's the thing:
it blew
Braun is so good.
Yeah,
on the mic in the ring, total package. I wouldn't be surprised if the next thing we see him do is have a trilogy with Jey for the IC title, lose in the overall trilogy, and Jey, or a rematch at least, and Jey retains, and then start going after Gunther.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if he starts going after Gunther immediately.
It's
he's too good. It's so obvious he's main event level.
Yeah. He will. Yeah, it's tough because he's either going to win that belt back or he's going to move up.
Yeah, but there is going to be no stagnating with him.
It's a good time for him to move up when Netflix comes around.
Yes.
So. that's about now.
And it's about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, very soon. A couple months.
And Jey is very deserving of this because he's been over for so long now.
It's so long overdue, it's not even funny. 14 years.
He's been
14
like,
years in WWE.
But like even in the last like 3 years, he's just blown up.
He's so huge, yeah.
So you gotta put a strap on him at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that was just
nobody's pissed that Braun's run ended when it did.
No,
you know what I mean?
Because it ended for a good reason.
And it ended to a guy who's hyper believable. You know,
and it just like I think it also suspends the OG bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is good because now you can carry around this Roman Cody things that you're
a little bit more
doing. Yeah.
A little more. Yeah. I think that will eventually lead to a full bore bloodline civil war though.
Yeah. You know what?
I've been saying that the whole show though. You know what I mean? That eventually they're going to get to a bloodline civil war. I can see it happening. It's so obvious. And I think a lot of people want that. But who knows? You know?
In my head, I still see Jey feuding with the Wyatts. Because that puts the Wyatts in a title picture.
That might be Bo Dallas winning the IC title.
Yeah, I think
and eventually freeing Jey up when he goes to get involved in the bloodline stuff.
I mean, from the start, I thought that was going to be what happened because Jey was kind of sidelined for a while.
Yeah.
I still could see that happening because now the Wyatts and American Made, that thing's kind of settled.
Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah,
they're floating around.
It looks like they're setting that up for Chad versus Otis.
Yeah,
at a pay-per-view, which I want to see.
That would be cool. Yeah, I would enjoy that. Anything with Chad Gable's pretty awesome.
He's unbelievable. Yep. He might legit be one of the best in the company right now. He's so good. So good, dude.
Easily. Yeah. It's kind of crazy how completely shifted the top of this roster is now.
Yeah.
Even from like a year ago.
It's crazy.
It's completely different cast.
Yeah.
Like if you watched a year ago and stopped watching, now you're going, how are these guys?
Yeah, these are all the top guys. Gunther's the champ?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's fucking wild.
It's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes to show you how fast like booking can flip everything
and feel correct.
Yeah, and it feels
it doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel weird. It's just happening logically.
Yeah,
you know.
And they're pacing a lot of these feuds right. Like it's nothing's lasting way too long. Nothing's too fast or too short. I don't think there's a lot of things where
it always feels right.
Yeah, there's not really a lot where you're like left leaving more.
Like, for example, Nia Jax as the champ right now, and Tiffy's got the case.
Yeah.
And they've got Naomi and Bayley trying to figure out who's going to face Nia for the title. And, yeah, dude, there's just so much going on with that. And people thought that was too short of a run for Bayley, but at the same time, it was logical. When it happened, made sense. And it's leading to more.
Bayley doesn't need another.
She doesn't need it. And Nia did. She really did.
Yeah.
And she deserves it because she's been actually doing better. This is the best work of her career now.
I can't argue that. But
yeah.
I'm still not a big Nia Jax fan.
I
don't think it's like she's really got to win me over, man.
I'm surprised she didn't before she left the first time when she was screaming "my hole" at the camera. That won me over.
My hole?
Dude, she took a sit-down bump on the apron like a week before she got released. Okay. And with the camera right in her face, she had wicked, hilarious face reaction and starts screaming, "My hole! Oh, my hole!" I was like, wait a minute. What are they doing with her? Why haven't we seen more of this?
You're immediately like...
It was her being her. And that's the biggest difference that's glued everything together with her now. Is when she talks on the mic and everything, she's just her.
I see the DiCaprio meme pointing at the TV. That's you.
Yeah. Dude, I was like, wait a minute.
That's the moment
My
right
hole? There. Interesting. It was good, dude. It was wicked funny. But no, yeah, I mean, it seems like the only real weak thing I can point to right now in WWE's product is I just still have a hard time with the fucking Fusion Collective name. It just is. It has to change.
Yeah, and they gotta stop trying to make it work. They keep going. We are pure Fusion Collective. It's like stop saying
stop.
If it's gonna be your name, just like don't say it.
How about just don't say it?
Yeah.
Commentary will call you whatever. You don't say it. Just don't say. That's such a good point. Just don't say it.
Yeah.
Who cares? Why are you telling people your name? Don't tell anybody. Show them. Go out and whip everybody's ass. And wrestle a really hard-hitting, tough style with a lot of MMA style submission work and stuff. People will know.
Yeah, it's like the Led Zeppelin
Show
thing.
them. Yeah. You don't need to every 5 seconds go, we're the Fusion Collective or whatever. No, stop.
We know. We
know, and it doesn't. It's not working.
I can't hear the word fusion without thinking Dragon Ball Z.
I don't know why. I hear fusion, I think of Fusion Frenzy, which is just a random ass party game for Xbox.
Yeah, like an original Xbox game that I barely played ever.
It was like Mario Party. It was like Mario Party mini games.
It was mini games.
Only mini games, yeah. But not the point. I don't think of the Pure Fusion Collective. That's for sure.
No, I don't. I think of
And I like all of them too. I like them all. All three of those girls I think are great. And I like them together. I think they fit together.
They do.
They've just got to not say their name all the time.
Yeah, it does work. The tag team's not the problem.
Nope. They are not the problem. It's just a weird name. It happens.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with Io Sky too.
Oh my God, she might be the best. She's like top 3 women's wrestlers like in the world right now.
Yeah,
she is unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, they're doing a good job with them.
Yeah, she's so good, and they're doing a good job with tag divisions finally.
Yeah,
they're actually doing anything with them, because that was the other criticism I had, was it seems like there's just not enough time in the product.
I was talking to my coworker about it, because he is like an older, like he watched up till like through Bret Hart, like the New Generation era, and he's like, well, I just felt like there wasn't like tag teams weren't a thing anymore.
Yeah,
he was like,
I feel like
there was
that's
Road
a lot
Warriors
better now.
And like all these guys, but now it just didn't, like, there was a big part of like after the Hardys and the Dudleys and Edge and Christian and all that, there was like a gap, it felt like, where there wasn't a lot of tag teams that were known for being tag teams. The New Day was a breath of fresh air for sure.
But there was a region in the 2016 area where it was like the Shield versus Goldust and Stardust versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro versus the Wyatts versus the Usos versus the New Day.
Yeah.
And that was like the best tag team division ever.
It was pretty good.
Like one of the best ever.
But you want like a lot of it is factions too. Like it seems like a lot of it is factions now. It's not
that's how they get away with
tag
it.
Teams. Yeah.
Having said that, now it's starting to get better. Now we've like what they're doing with the women's tag belts, right? They've got 2 sets, right? They've got Jade Cargill and what's her name? Bianca Belair. Yep. They're fucking awesome too. Yeah. They've got them and they're feuding with
which is like, so they're two women that could be singles wrestlers easily.
That's correct.
But
they're teaming up because they want
it a tag team. Their roster's deep enough to do this.
Yeah, for sure. And there's multiple women's tag teams that are feuding with them for those belts.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you have or is it? It's like the Fusion Collective and Io Sky or Damage Control, right?
Yeah.
And they're feuding with those 2 new girls, right? The Scottish girls?
Yeah.
Or do I have that mixed up? Alba Fire and
Dawn or whatever.
Yeah.
Isla Dawn.
Isla Dawn, yeah. They're wicked good.
They're good too, yeah.
They're very good.
Well, they held the belts for a while.
But they've got the belts moving around a bunch of tag teams on both shows.
Yeah.
That's the point.
It's to give them credibility.
Yes. They've got the tag belts. They've got a division formed now. It took a bit to get there, but they actually have a tag team division now for women's. and they're getting there with men's as well.
I like that way of establishing it because it shows that all those teams are growing at the same time.
Yes.
And they're like beating each other out here and there.
And they're constantly chasing the belts and making them look like they matter.
Yeah, yeah. Because if you just have someone
all there
hold
to
the
just
belt,
go, we want those belts. Yeah. Plus, tag wrestling is cool, and it's so different from singles wrestling.
I'm never a fan of because this felt like it slowed down a lot with Vince. Is like everything's long title reigns. Title changes didn't happen as much.
Yeah,
but
it's a good mix now.
It didn't need to be that way. Like you have Cena was a 17-time champion or 16-time or something?
He's 16. Something like 16. That. He's tied with Flair for the record.
But it's like so obviously he lost the belt a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So what are we doing with you can't just have someone hold the belt for 4 years.
No.
It just doesn't feel right.
It was just Vince wanted to do it so bad, and then once he was gone, it was already in motion, and then Triple H was just trying to find the right time to make it the biggest it could be now that they already had this historic run.
So it's on one hand, it's they want the WWE title to be this is the face of WWE.
Yes.
But when do you say fuck that and start shaking it up more like they're doing with the world heavyweight title?
I don't know.
What? Because Cody is going to lose the belt and probably win it back at some point.
Yeah,
is what I'm
guaranteed
expecting.
Yeah, guaranteed. I totally agree, and I feel
dropping the belt more often is a thing that,
and it helps build. It helps make you see other people as legitimate.
Yeah, a lot. It really does significantly.
Yeah. It's not like Seth Rollins is the only guy who's a world champ on the Raw now. It's you also have Damian Priest visible in that realm.
Yeah.
Gunther, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre.
That's a perfect Damian Priest is a perfect example of it because he had a short run, but he still looked at it as
everybody he was a top level guy. And he was, and he deserved to be that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he can still go about his own business.
Yep.
Come back to the picture when he needs to.
Which they have awesome stuff going on, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then men's tag team, same deal. They're starting to establish. We've got DIY who are just unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
But a lot of them are factions too, like the American Made and
American Made
and all this stuff.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Which is fine because you can mix it up.
Wrong with it. Yeah.
And you can say these two are working tonight or whatever.
Absolutely.
And it gives you also a run in, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Who's the current tag champs? Oh, it's the Bloodline guys.
Yeah,
Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. They're the current guys.
For some reason, they are just to have gold.
But they only have that one tag champ now, don't they? Isn't it one set each? They don't have Raw and SmackDown tag belts, do they?
Oh man, I don't know.
Because that would be smart if they didn't.
Who's the Raw tag champions?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'd have to look it up, but
how am I
watching it every week? It feels like there's only one set of belts now. Because I was thinking about it when I was talking about Jade and Bianca, and I was like, they're feuding with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn too, aren't they? And they just beat them to get their belts back.
It's the fucking Judgment Day.
Oh, yeah.
It's Finn Balor and
JD. It is,
yeah.
So they do have two separate sets of belts.
Which is weird because now they're just tacking them onto the two main storylines that are already existing.
Yeah, I don't know.
You tack them onto the Judgment Day.
That, I feel like it would be smarter to have one set of tag belts, like one men's, one women's, and have those champs defend on both shows. I know that sounds weird.
Yeah, you could,
but it would take care of the problem of finding time for them.
The tag divisions,
yes, which they're struggling to develop.
What happened to cruiserweight divisions?
No,
they just don't exist anymore.
It just doesn't happen because the cruiserweights usually end up just being viable and taken seriously going after the B tier titles like the US and the Intercontinental.
Yeah, that's true.
Or tag team.
Yeah, because
but
then
they just don't do a cruiserweight anymore.
It's a minor belt.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's double
the only time I've ever seen the cruiserweight belt ever matter is WCW in the 90s, because that era, that roster challenging for it is the only reason why.
Yeah.
Because it was like Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Ultimo Dragon, like what?
But half of those guys just became Intercontinental champions.
And some of them heavyweight champions.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's why that's
TNA,
my point, though.
when TNA did the X Division, that was good.
That was good. That was good, yeah. I've seen some of that for sure.
I don't know. It's like, I guess it is just another
That's like what made AJ Styles.
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, basically it was. Yeah, if you think about it. So then it's U.S. title and Intercontinental title. So yeah, basically that is what it's basically the equivalent.
What they are.
But it used to be like focused on a certain weight.
They've done it did, yeah. They've done such a good job of establishing that the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title for each show are the workers' title.
Yeah,
that is very prestigious and very serious.
They've said it's the workers' title.
Is like on the level of the world championships, but it's like the title that guys are like that.
It's a landmark.
You have to get through that to prove you're able to get to the world title,
which is how it should work.
It is, yeah. It makes that title super important.
Yeah.
And right now, the U.S. and Intercontinental title feel as important as they ever have, in my opinion. Yeah. They've got the right guys with them. It's so good. Jey and Braun and all of those guys feuding for the IC title is awesome.
Yeah.
And all those dudes are guys we're looking at going, at some point they're going to be in the world title picture. Like Braun, Dragunov is wicked good. Dude, Sammy's now facing Gunther
he got
for the
into
world
that
title
picture
straight from IC title to world title shot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a good way you could go about it.
That's
like you
what
could almost
you do.
Like just have it be like a gatekeeping belt that goes like, hey, you haven't graduated past this yet. You know what I mean?
You have to prove your world title worthy by winning the IC title and
like
defending
prove that you can carry a title.
Yeah. And the viewers understand that those titles matter and are prestigious now, because look who they're carried by and look at the respect the titles are given by the program, by the company, you know?
Yeah.
And LA Knight.
And that's
are you kidding me?
That's huge. Yeah, dude, oh my God. Every time, dude, like I think, was it SmackDown like last week I think it just opened up with him.
Yeah.
And
then he defended his belt
against pop is just crazy.
It opened with his music and got the biggest pop of any of the shows all week.
I mean, and that,
like, period, any of the companies.
Besides Ricky.
Like, he got the biggest pop in wrestling.
Yeah, probably.
That week. Flat out. To open the show. Instant. Everybody on their feet. Roof blown off the place. Just because they heard LA Knight. He came out and he defended his belt to start the show against Andrade. And that match was sick. And the ending looked weird. He went to fist bump him, and Andrade didn't want to fist bump and wanted to shake his hand. And they had like a weird power struggle over it. And then Andrade like grabbed his hand and made him shake his hand.
Yeah,
it looked weird. It looked tense. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that whole thing was.
Yeah, there was
I don't know.
I can't remember what it was.
LA Knight went to do the jump up spot on the turnbuckle and he fell. And I think it was something Andrade did that caused him to fall.
Yeah.
But they handled it perfectly. He slipped. The commentary went, high risk moves don't happen every time, period. And he went to get back up, but because he had to slip, it gave Andrade a second to collect himself while LA Knight's trying to climb back up. And Andrade used it to hit him and counter him and send him off, and they went a different direction. It was perfect. It was how you cover when a high-risk move like that doesn't work.
Yeah, that's really
that's like what you do.
That's ring IQ type shit.
Ring IQ. Yep. Other than that, I thought the match was incredible.
Who was it? Was it who attacked Andrade backstage?
It was Carmelo Hayes.
Okay,
Hayes. Yeah, who's had 1,000 matches with him.
That looked kind of stiff.
It did look very. Yeah.
I watched it a couple times. I was like, that was, I don't know how
Doesn't it? It makes you wonder if there's something going on with Andrade backstage.
Yeah,
because it seems like everybody's pissed at him in segments, and nobody else seems to be pissed at all the other guys. Like he's the common denominator. I haven't heard anything about that, and I'm not going to say he is.
But I watched it a couple times because I was like, I think he was working pretty stiff on that. Some of that backstage shit. And it looked kind of brutal.
But him and Carmelo have been in like a best of 7 thing, I'm pretty sure. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. They've had a bunch of matches.
Maybe I'm just getting worked over here, but
yeah,
that was like, I don't know.
It looked brutal.
It looked kind of sketchy.
I feel like
there's some heat there, maybe.
I feel like I haven't seen Ray and like Selena Vega and them in a bit, and I haven't seen Santos Escobar and them in a bit.
Ray just came out this week, Ray came out to challenge for.
Duh.
Yeah, he got right into the picture there. Actually.
Yep. 100% good.
Yeah, because you hadn't seen him in a while, so.
Yep.
Because they got to bring him back in for when the Judgment Day thing settles.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ray's probably getting to the end of. And although it's like, how many times have I thought Ray was?
I thought he was done 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Then
when he had the match with Dom.
Yeah.
The match with Dom, I was like, this is it. He's got to retire after that.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Because he wants to give him his mask. I think he genuinely does. He wants to go out the luchador way, retire in the ring, remove his mask, and give it to his son and say, this is yours now.
Yeah.
You know?
And then Dom does what with it? Throws it?
Wipes his ass and throws it.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest heels of all time.
Yeah.
He actually is, and it's so weird to say. That little snot-nosed Dom is legitimately one of the greatest heels of all time.
Yeah,
he's one of the few, he might be the only heel in all of wrestling right now that gets legitimate hatred heat, real hatred heat from the crowd, and he's working 24/7.
It's been like over a year.
He goes on a podcast and he pulls heel shit on the guys in the podcast, and he's supposed to be out of character. And he's like, "Hey, Logan,
why can't you go to Japan again?
Why can't you go to Japan again? Like, what, dude?" And he's legit pissed.
Yeah, they cut it out of the podcast.
He's legit pissed, and Dom is not pissed, and he loves it. And he tells him he should wear the same shit.
You should wear the fucking
when they
hat.
go, because all he's thinking about is what's the most toxic heel shit he could possibly do.
That was so good.
That is what makes him one of the best heels, and he might be the actual best heel in all of wrestling right now.
Right now, I think so.
Yeah, I think he legit is, and he's one of the best ever.
It's been like over a year since he could like hold the mic up to his mouth and start talking without.
He never gets to. Yeah,
immediately booed out of the arena. So
and some people like to boo him because they're in on it, like it's fun.
It is,
and
the thing
a lot of them boo him because they legit hate his guts.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so good. I never thought I'd see a heel get heat like that, like ever again, because it was so impossible post like the 2015 mark.
People
so
are
impossible.
Much more. Oh man, it's weird because like wrestling, like at first it was like people were like, I think it's real. Like this is awesome. And then they were like, oh, it's all fake. This is bullshit or whatever. Now everybody's like bought into that it's fake. Right?
Yeah, we all get it. That's over.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's fake and is willing to and understands it. So now you can suspend disbelief easier because you get it.
Exactly.
People, the regular viewer is going and going, oh, it's like watching a movie, like an action movie, but it's live in front of a live audience. Whoa, okay.
You're watching an episodic TV show.
Yeah.
You're watching it live.
Absolutely.
I was watching the McMahon documentary and they were just talking about this. It's like, because when the Click did the whole thing and, you know, that changed kind of the perception of it.
It did. It's crazy to think that happened in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
It's relative, dude. Like, I was born in late 80s. I was 88. I was born, right?
Yeah.
36 years old.
Even the territory system wasn't that long ago. Like, this is relatively a young...
That's what I'm saying. Like, wrestling's been around for a little over 100 years, technically existing.
Yeah.
But televised wrestling has been around since, like, the 50s. And really, major wrestling as we know it since, like, the 70s.
Right.
You know? With, like... I would say really
Gorilla Monsoon.
I would say really the 80s.
Yeah, well, yeah, really. It's when it blew up.
Like, it existed before there with the territories and all that.
But it was more regional.
It was more regional and stuff. Nationally syndicated television started with I believe with Turner.
Mm-hmm.
With what is it? With what is it?
TBS or
TBS? Yeah, right.
TBS. TNT, I think was.
Well, that's the other one, but Turner Broadcasting System or whatever. TBS was his original channel. TNT was like an
USA
offshoot
Network is them too, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I doubt it because that's what Raw was on during the Attitude Era against, and Nitro was on TNT.
Can't remember.
But back at like Clash of Champions was on TBS.
Oh, okay.
I think Jim Crockett Promotions is what Turner bought when he went national using his own channel.
Yeah.
And that was like when it happened, dude. I believe that was the 80s.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know. They were showing like Vince.
Again, they were born in 88, so I don't know.
I guess, so they were interviewing Vince and they're talking about how like they were basically like going through the Monday Night Wars part. And
yeah.
Like how Bischoff was like buying up all of Vince's talent, right?
Yep.
Well, Ted Turner was, but they like asked him. They're like, "Don't you think that's like hypocritical to say because of what Vince did to the territories?"
It is super hypocritical.
Like that's literally exactly what he did.
What he did.
He went to every territory. Was like, "Who's your big?
I'll
who's
put
your
you
guy?
out of business, or I'll buy you. Pick."
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, he was like, "Who's your guy? He's mine now,
and I'll pay for him."
Yep,
but he's mine now. And if you say no, you're out of business, and then I'll take him for less money.
Yeah, and then he can turn around and be like, "No, I don't like what Ted Turner's doing. It's a scummy move."
Yep, but that's Vince for you.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I've seen like I watched like the first like 4 episodes today at work.
Jeez,
we were down today.
I hear it's good. But that it's nothing we won't already know all the details on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I thought about like skipping the 3rd episode. I'm like, I already know everything about the Monday Night War. Like, if you've watched the Monday Night Wars like documentary, you've seen all that, or if you've just seen it, it's like, I know all this shit. It's like watching Dragon Ball Z, like playing all the video games because all the video games play the same Dragon Ball Z storyline.
Yeah,
and you're like, I don't need to watch the cutscenes. I fucking know this shit.
I think I know it. Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know, but I think it's a good documentary. Like I'm liking the way it's shot. It's like covering a lot of shit that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it's like they're also getting a lot more personal about Vince. They're trying to keep the focus there, obviously. That's
for
what
sure.
it's really about. But they have times where they veer off and they're like, here's, this is like what's going on with, this is what happened, how the Attitude Era started. This is how, why Scott Hall and Kevin Nash left and all this stuff. So a lot of it was about Hogan. The first episode was, I don't know. It's like, I'm not really a big Hogan fan. But
me neither. Hollywood Hogan is one of the greatest heels ever. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. The character, man is a piece of trash. A legendary level of piece of trash too.
Yeah.
Well known, well evidenced. So that is what it is.
He was saying, I think like, at least I heard this or read it somewhere. If he ever had to choose his finisher again, it wouldn't be the leg drop.
Oh yeah,
because it destroyed his
body,
his back.
It ruined his career.
It's such a dumb finish too.
Yep.
Like a fucking leg drop is your move. I don't know. Be a little more clever, I guess. But
yeah,
especially when you're a guy who like his other
6'7",
signature is
325.
And you're on every steroid that exists.
Yep. Good luck.
And your other signature move is an actual body slam.
Yeah, just do a body slam though.
Make that your signature move.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all. He's Hulk Hogan. What? Why the leg drop?
Yeah,
but too late now.
But like, you know, you just like that iconic heel turn where he drops the leg on
Macho Man.
Macho Man. Yeah, that was fucking wild.
And then the crowd goes, "We're emptying all our trash into the ring."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh yeah,
that was huge. Vince was talking about that on the thing. He was like, "Man, he's like, he basically regretted that he didn't pull the trigger on that earlier.
On turning Hogan.
He should have turned Hogan.
He should have. Yeah, he's dead on right. He should have turned him like 2 years earlier.
Yeah, because he knew even after WrestleMania, like I don't know, 4 or 5,
he already could tell
he was already on the decline.
Yeah,
people were losing interest. And then he was like, "I'll bring in Lex Luger." It's like, no, just turn him heel.
Yeah,
just turn him heel and make somebody. Then bring in Lex Luger.
Yep, sure, bring in Luger. Give him Hogan as a heel.
Yeah, that would have been the fucking
problem. Is Hogan was like, "I will quit before I'll turn heel." And if Vince went to him and went, "We got to turn you," he'd be like, "Think about the kids. Think about all the little Hulksters."
That's the issue, is you got to deal with Terry.
Yep, you got to deal with that scumbag. I will always openly say, scumbag human.
Yeah, well,
it's too evidenced. It's not my opinion.
Right.
He's demanding to be seen as a scum human.
Yeah.
He's requiring.
He's done everything he can.
He's done every single thing he can to make sure you know, whether you like it or not, he is a scum human.
Of shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So is Vince.
Yep.
And I'm sure people will go into this documentary that didn't grow up watching wrestling going, "I can't believe it. He's such a piece of trash." And all of us that grew up watching him on TV are going to go, I thought he was worse. I expected worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I can't believe he hasn't been charged with murder or some shit.
His whole persona was like being a piece of shit.
I'm a piece of trash.
Yeah. And all he had to do was go, here,
yep.
It's 11 now. It's at 11.
Fucking guy wanted to do a storyline where he was going to get his own daughter pregnant and shit.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Which is super cool.
You think that guy's a good guy? Come on. That's the one thing about all this that will irk me, is if people act surprised to find out that Vince McMahon is a vile piece of garbage. He was my most hated human as a child.
Yeah, which is why
every wrestling game, every match we played would be our maxed out creative characters versus Vince and Shane. Every match we would face Vince, and I hated him. I used to get enjoyment from seeing Vince get hurt and shit as a child.
That's cool.
Yep. He's my most hated character of all time.
That's why the Austin thing worked so well.
And that's not to say he's not like one of, if not the most important single human to pro wrestling that's ever lived.
Yeah, because
I don't know how you debate that.
It just is undeniable.
Yeah, there is no debating that. And I never will. I will defend that he's the most important single human being to pro wrestling that's ever lived, period, and by miles. And he's the biggest scumbag piece of trash ever.
Yeah, same thing with Hogan. He was a giant part of wrestling.
He's so important.
And iconic part
of wrestling. Yep.
Yeah.
But he's also irrefutably a complete piece of trash.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Laughing stock level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
That's it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, so we've got good matches to watch for the next one. I'm excited about that. But yeah, I'm sure we'll talk more about the Vince stuff at some point.
As I finish it or
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it. I don't know if I'm gonna, because I just know all that stuff.
Yeah, there's like some
and it
stuff
was made
that
before the Janelle Grant stuff came out, so it's like,
yeah, but it makes it so like they shot all the interviews before that, but they did the edits.
They do talk about it after, That's
so
what I've heard.
they've done a decent job, like kind of foreshadowing
of being like, stuff. Just so you guys know, we shot this
Talked
before.
About, like, some of the weird shit with like the guys that worked for him that were like, they'd have ring boys, and like there was a couple guys that were like fucking basically pedophiles.
Yep.
And
Pat
Patterson and shit. Yeah,
it's a bummer. A lot of guys love Pat and champion the shit out of him, but it's objective fact at this point.
But Pat was like his right hand guy, so it was like, and then they were like, well, fucking, I think it was oh shit, who was it? I don't know. Somebody on the thing was talking about how there used to be guys that would like straight up, Pat Patterson, I think it was, would like grab his dick in the fucking showers.
Yes.
And then he's like, well,
he's well known for it.
I can't go. Who do I go to? Right? I don't go to Vince.
Go to Vince. Vince is going to go, now I'm going to grab your dick.
Or you're just fired.
Or you're fired. Yeah. Because I can't afford to lose Pat.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, it's fucked up. That's the thing is with wrestling, Vince was the only guy running the show at that point.
Only, yep.
So
and Pat was his right-hand man and also objectively one of the greatest minds ever in wrestling.
Yeah.
And was known to be a fucking sexual predator.
Another piece of shit.
On all the guys. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces of shit out there, huh?
Well, at that time in wrestling that they all came from, though.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? There was a lot of scum.
It was the culture there, kind of, in a way.
It's cleaned up a lot.
Yeah.
Since. A lot. Now, with the internet, it's even easier because now somebody ends up being a piece of trash. They get found out so fast and they're gone. They're exiled from the industry forever.
Yeah.
They can't even get a work in a bingo hall.
No.
Good. Go bag groceries, weirdo.
Maybe they'll get a hot dog and a handshake or something at somewhere, but in like an American Legion somewhere.
Yeah, but who cares? And everybody's there to troll them and be like, how's that girl you beat up doing?
Right, yeah.
Scumbag. You know what I mean? All right.
Yeah. All right, so
good shit.
That'll be it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Today's show, I forgot to plug you guys. Our sponsor,
great sponsor too. This stuff's so good.
Yeah. Did you have some of it?
I've had it before, but the one that I got most recent
what was
is
that?
So good.
It's like
a mango, white peach mango, something like that. It has a name, but the flavor is mango, white peach. It's
peach and peach.
Beach and peach, I think. Yeah, it's wicked good.
I fucking love peach flavors anyway, though.
Peach is okay. Mango is my favorite. Had to try it.
Yeah,
it's great. This stuff's great, man.
I've been doing
it works.
It's
for real.
I drink the Dragonade one every day. This one right here is still sealed because I want to use that one next. And
and the thing about these two that's cool is like there's nothing in it. There's no artificial anything. There's no sugars.
There's vitamins like nootropics, caffeine.
Yeah,
like it's like
green
everything
tea extract and stuff.
It's like, to me, that's better than coffee.
There's no glycemic impact, no calories.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I drink coffee still too, but like that's great.
Yeah, well,
that shit fires me up in the morning. Yeah. I fucking am actually alert, even though I
love that stuff.
I wake up at fucking 4 in the morning or whatever. Yep. It's like I gotta have something that wakes me up.
Which is good because it's like, here's the thing. We're in a position right now where like if we get a sponsor opportunity and it's something that's dog shit, we will likely sit up here and tell you it's sick because we just need sponsors.
Yeah.
We're too new to the game to be able to do it.
Well, there was another.
I would love to have credibility and just get to sit here and tell you the stuff's really good. And luckily with this,
it actually is.
We genuinely actually drink this stuff every day. It's not a gimmick. It's not a work. We're not just blowing smoke.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I drink this stuff every day and I love it.
There was a clothing company that we had that was like lined up to do it, and I was like, I don't really like your stuff, so we didn't do that.
Yeah, well, so that's the other thing. We also just have day jobs, and we do this for fun.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the opposite of that. We don't really have any reason to take a sponsor unless it's something we end up liking.
I want it to be something that I do use.
Yeah, we don't want to just shill shit that sucks.
Right,
is the reality. Yeah. So.
It's not like our audience is big enough to want to fucking.
We're not in a position to even care to do that.
Right.
So it's like if they stopped sponsoring us, we'd go, okay, I'm still drinking it because now that I have it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to keep having it. So
yeah, I just find some other discount code to use.
Yep, exactly.
But for now,
we use our own discount code.
Yeah, just use ours.
Yep.
What's today? Today's the 26th or something. So this will come out on the 27th, which means if you use that code right now, you still get 20% off instead of 10.
When's that end? Do you know?
The end of this month.
Okay, yeah. So you still have a few days. Yeah.
So yeah, you got a couple days when this comes out.
Over the weekend, really.
Just do it. You know what I mean?
You should honestly, if you're thinking about trying it, just pull the trigger. You won't regret it.
You don't have to buy the tubs. You can buy like the little sachets or whatever.
Yeah.
Little
even still
sample things.
I would suggest getting a tub because you're going to like it. Yeah. It is good.
Yeah.
And you can cut it however you want. So like sometimes I don't want it to be super strong. So I just put more water than powder.
I was thinking that
I have control over it.
I was like, well, the recommended thing is like sometimes it's too strong.
Yeah.
And my water bottle's big too, so I like try to balance that out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's nice
about it. It's
good.
It's awesome, man. I can't say enough good stuff about it.
You control your dosage.
Yep.
So yeah, this is I guess that's it.
What episode is that? 12?
Yeah, I think it's 12.
Whatever. We'll know when it gets posted. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
Good shit, brother.
So yeah, w.gg. Use the promo code. This has been Clear Shots Studios production.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.